Hi everyone. Today I would like to share something new with you, something I haven't done for a very, very long time. And the reason I haven't done it and I haven't offered it is because I love to engage with each person, each soul, each individual, and take them really, really deep on the journey of self exploration, self discovery, healing, relearning, and basically recreating themselves, reinventing themselves with their feminine, with the way they show up in the world, and specifically in the intimate relationship, intimacy with the self. Right? It's very beautiful and deep journey, and it takes time. Right? I love to work with people for a year, or usually it's at least 6 months, right? The shortest way to engage in the work with me is like at least 3 months. It's like bare minimum. Now, I had this amazing conversation with one of my colleagues and really good friends, and she asked me why I'm not offering anything different than that, like why I'm not offering a different, more dynamic containers. And I've been thinking about it since then. It's like, well, I have lots of clients and they put so much energy to support those ones who are on the longer journeys that I was just not very interested in the shorter and more intense, dense containers. Yet, I started to think about it and I decided to experiment and play with this container more. And it's not like I want to offer too many spots for that, but I would like to bring it up and see what happens. Basically, it's kind of experimenting on completely new phase, right? It's like I'm not where I used to be like 4 or 5 years ago when I offered that. So I'm curious what can show up, and I know how much we can gain even with long-term clients when we start with our 3-hour intensive, right? It's very beautiful and very engaging and connective and can be very eye-opening process as well. So that's what I decided to offer and invite you, if you're the one who hasn't had an opportunity to work with me personally, if we haven't talked, or maybe we talked but you were not ready to connect, to commit, to do a longer journey, because it is a commitment, right? I would like to invite you and play with me in this more dynamic container. So it will be 3-hour intensive with the preparation phase. We're going to preparation, intensive, and integration, where I usually send you this welcome packet where I get to know you, because if I haven't talked to you, if we didn't work before, I need to know you. I need to know your story. I need to know your background, so we don't spend time me listening and you sharing that, right? Like in therapy, sometimes it takes so much time for a client just to share their stories, their past. So I will know that already. So there will be preparation phase on both sides. I will prepare for the session, and then we'll dive in this very dynamic container. So 3 hours, 3-hour intensive. I'm kind of flexible with time because sometimes we need a little bit more time to allow the process to finish, to come to completion within this container. So it's like plus minus 20 minutes, sometimes even 30 minutes. So it's like we reserve a little bit longer. And that's what feminine needs, because we're so stuck in these deadlines. We're so stuck in this rigid, perception of time, linear time, that sometimes we can't breathe and we can't allow ourselves to take a longer time for something to just complete the process, right? So it is a little bit flexible container, yet it is more or less 3 hours of the intensive itself, and then we'll have 30-minute follow-up integration session. So this is a very dynamic container, right? And it is very different than engaging in a longer journey with me, right? So there are certain pieces that you need to know when you sign up for this, because I will not be able to dance with you and allow things to come up naturally and when is the right time, right? Session by session. So we have to kind of dive in, and I turn on the volume of how I engage with you, and my directedness, the directedness of my interaction and my mirrors, and what I see in your energy, and what can benefit, how you can benefit from this session, what you can immediately shift in yourself, in the way you show up, and align yourself with who you are, right? With your feminine. So it's very different dynamic, and it's a good match for those ones who are more dynamic, kind of like personalities, like Amazon woman archetype, or somebody who wants to play within a different setting, right, with the different conditions. Those ones who are not afraid to receive mirrors, right? The mirrors can be sometimes challenging for our ego, for our sense of identity, for whatever self-importance, right? So it will be more direct. Whatever I see, I will mirror it to you. And by stepping into this container, you sign up and agree to receive my mirrors, and I will not be, dancing with you that much. I will not be as gentle as sometimes I can be with people who step into longer journeys, because we have time to unfold, right? So this is something to be aware of. Like, you will receive more direct, more intense, more dynamic, energetic feedback, information that you can immediately work with. So you need to be prepared to not to be in this space where you will take things personal or think it's too much to deal with. Like, this is intense container. Yet it has so much value to be there, because this is when you can reveal your blind spots. This is where you can reveal your defense mechanisms that can work as also self-sabotage strategy, excuses, making excuses why you're not showing up in a certain way, or why certain things are not part of your experience, right? And also there can be elements of self-deception, of how we talk ourselves from being who we are, like certain deeper fears, lack of safety, emotional safety, where we hide and we think there are lots of reasons why we need to be this way, right? So, and it's very, very energetic. So it's not so much about what you're exactly doing or saying, but what is your energy, right? Because your energy is what communicates with others. Only 7% of our communication is verbal. The rest is non-verbal. And this what we will focus on in this container. How you're communicating with your energy, what kind of vibe you're creating, right? And why your energy is the reason why you might feel stuck in certain patterns, why you feel stuck in certain circumstances or certain emotional experiences not being recycled, right? So it's much more energetic. It's much more like insightful. So you can be prepared to receive all of that and work with that, and then we'll catch up and follow up session, right? It will help you to create clarity and awareness of how you want to be maybe in 2023, right? To create a different vision for yourself, who you want to be. It's not what you want to do. It's not a plan, like, achievement plan, right? It's how you show up, your feminine, right? Your archetype will work with your archetype and uniqueness of your being. How can you bring it online, right? And be forward, right? Understanding that we all have limited time on this planet. So why would we hold back and not to shine and not to experience and not to build up that energy that starts to flow in a way that is aligned with our archetype, with who we are, right? And that can be pieces. You can bring any specific piece that you want to focus on, whether it's within yourself, your own intimate universe, relationship with self, your feminine energy, how you show up, how you feel, emotional stuff. You can bring up certain relationship dynamics with your partner. So we can focus on different things depending on your needs. So this is what I invite you to explore with me. It is an investment, of course. I'm role modeling for you this goddess lover kind of archetypal channels. Like, I can only engage with people when it feels good and it feels fully in line, and it's like, yes. And this one is a little kind of like putting it out there and trusting the universe that the right people will show up. They jump in and we'll have an amazing time together, right? So I'm not going to check on you in terms of like using the filters who I work with or not. I will trust the universe that I will put it out there and the right person will sign up, and we will have this dynamic and intense, like 3-hour journey plus extra follow-up session, right? And I will get to know you through your form that I will send you, the welcome packet, right? So this is kind of playing with the universe, playing with opportunities, playing with uncertainty, allowing to be surprised, right? I'm excited to be surprised and see who will show up. And I'm excited because I feel somehow this energetic pathway opened up, and I feel there are some people who are challenged by what is going in the collective field. I've been working with some new people who like are masters on the level of mastery with what they do. They already help people. They already do consciousness work, yet, to transition to the next level, they're being challenged to their core, and it feels like they're being thrown back like several years back into their journey to like really upgrade and have that leap of trust that this is exactly what we need. So it's like there can be some messy stuff that comes up for people these days. That can be like lots of fear about what's going on in the collective. There can be feeling of overwhelm and how to, protect yourself and align yourself while being engaged and forward and inspired. So it can be tricky to navigate energy these days. So it's not just relationship with man, but also relationship with self, and how you can keep showing up in your empowered feminine and your sacred feminine energy. So this is what I wanted to share with you. There is a link that I will share with you here, and you can just sign up for the session. Again, I will not have private conversation with you to see if we're compatible. I just trust that the right people will show up. And this, in a way, it's kind of like experiment. Is in a way, it's like playful energy putting out there and allowing ourselves to be surprised in a good way. All right. I'm really excited to see who is in.